Welcome back to the Sawmill, friends. We got a small problem. Let me show you. So first of all, let me cover this. I got a phone call a few days ago from a local farmer about a sycamore being down. So I went up there this morning and grabbed that. We got 4 8-foot logs. I'm not sure what we're going to do with these 3. The bottom one right there is a good candidate for quarter sawing. That's really the best way to saw up sycamore and get any decent kind of a yield. But these 3 right here are not good candidates for quarter sawing for various reasons. That one right there is probably firewood. But these 2, we'll figure something out, guys. I'm not sure. We'll make something out of them. Just not sure yet. Whenever you saw up sycamore, it's better to quarter saw it because it has an interlocking grain. If you flat saw something like this, it's a waste of time. Total waste of time. And when you quarter saw sycamore, you get medullary rays on the face of the board just like you get with white and red oak. It looks really nice. So our problem is, I was getting ready to unload this trailer and the battery's dead. Now I have this little solar powered thing right there. I got it on Amazon. It usually works pretty good, but I noticed the last time I pulled this dump trailer, the battery sounded kind of weak. And this part right here is part of that solar panel, and it usually stays lit up when it's charging, and it's not lit up. So 2 things have happened. This has just pretty much went bad, or maybe there's a fuse in here somewhere. I'm not sure. I don't think there's a fuse though. I think they're just connectors right there. Probably have to order another one of those, but I got about 3 years out of it, so that ain't too bad. So this dump trailer, I only use it a couple of times a month, therefore the battery stays pretty low. That's why I got that charger on it. If I was hauling stuff every day, my truck would keep it charged up. But since I don't, that's why we got the old solar panel on it, but it has failed. So to get these logs out today, it's gonna be some jumper cable action more than likely. And this used to happen to me a lot before I got that little solar panel. That's why I got some extra long jumper cables. I run them to the truck all the way back to the little box right there, and it solves the problem temporarily. I'll tell you what, guys, it is so nice out here today. It's November the 8th. It's like 80 degrees out here. One thing I like about these diesel trucks is they have 2 batteries. Or I guess the other ones have 2 batteries, I don't know. Makes it easy to find somewhere to hook up some jumper cables. That right there should get us back in business. Key word is should. There we go. These logs don't look that big, guys, but they sure are heavy. Sycamore is known to have a very high moisture content. Everything okay back here? I'll tell you what, now that I get a better look at it, this one right here may be good for quarter sawing also. It's a little bit bigger than I thought it was. All right, guys, so on this sycamore, and we're not going to be doing this today, we'll definitely quarter saw the butt cut. The 2nd and 3rd cuts, we'll try to quarter saw those and see how it goes. They're kind of small, but may turn out decent. We won't get a high yield from those 2, but if we don't quarter saw them, they're either cross ties or firewood, one of the 2, or pallet lumber. You got to quarter saw that stuff or it just goes everywhere. And this one right here will be firewood without a doubt. Very low grade. Yeah, we'll do firewood on that one. So not a bad haul. We got a nice quarter saw candidate right there, 2 decent ones there, and some firewood. The reason I say it's either firewood or quarter sawed on sycamore is why I talked about earlier. Interlocking grain, it spirals, and if you don't quarter saw this and you flat saw it or even rift saw it, it will just go everywhere while you're trying to air dry it. It twists in every direction. Very hard to dry this stuff and have a decent yield if you don't quarter saw it. And as always, here at Out of the Woods Sawmill, I didn't write the rule book. That's just the way it is with sycamore. It's terrible if you don't quarter saw it. Or you can do cross ties or maybe some pallet lumber. And I guess if you needed barn siding and you had a lot of nails, you could probably do barn siding all this, but you'd have to nail it, you know, a lot. And I mean a lot. So on the sawmill today is going to be this big old poplar right here, guys. It's a 10-footer. The diameter is probably mid-20s on it. I'm not sure, to be honest with you, but we should get a lot of lumber out of this log. This will be a pretty good log, even though there's a lot of large knots and defects here on the outside of it. I think it'll be a good one. But before we start on that poplar, I need to stack all this lumber on a pallet, guys. We got a pretty good amount of 1x9s here on the mill.
Oh, I ain't gonna live like this no more. Most of my life's been waging war till I found peace. I could've swore what she did shook me to the core, and I ain't gonna live like that no more.
All right, friends, got that lumber stacked up. And don't do what I do. You should do that at the end of the day. I sawed that up yesterday. I should have already had that stacked up. So anyways, we need to put the poplar on the mill, but before we do that, I got to saw some 2x4s out of this piece right here. Dad needs 4 2x4s for one of his projects over at his house, so we should easily get 4 of them out of this. And this will be nominal size, and I think I got it right this time. I get that backwards all the time, which means it's going to be 8/4 by 4/4. I'm sorry, my goodness. It's going to be 8/4 by 16/4. 2 inches by 4 inches. Nominal size. Actual size is if I get this wrong, I'm sure you guys will let me know. Actual size is after it's kiln dried and ran through a planer, and that's what you get at like Lowe's or Home Depot. Nominal size is what comes off the sawmill. I think I got that right. I get that mixed up all the time, and some people really get aggravated in the comments over it, even though most of you guys know what I'm talking about. So we should get 4 nominal size 2x4s out of this right here. Nominal. I think I'm right about that. What do you guys think? All right, guys, this is the operator's side on this log, and I'm not sure which one is the smaller end. It's kind of an oval shape, 27 inches that way, then up and down. We're at 32 inches. And this is a 10-foot log, so if you measured the small end, and if this is the small end, you would probably say around 27 inches or so, because there is an oval there, and since it's a 10-footer, according to the Doyle scale, should have 330 board feet in this log if this is the small end. This may be the large end. Let's go check the other side. Guys, so down here, 27 inches. And, okay, about 29 inches. So, not much taper to this log. Good deal. There is an oval shape right there, but other than that, not too bad. And I'm not sure how long this has been on the ground, to be honest with you. I know that's a shocker. And also, friends, facing you guys is the best face of this log. There's a lot of large knots on it, but this face right here is the best face. So when you do something like this, we're sawing this for shiplap. We'll do 1x9s. We'll have several cants out of this. We'll run some boards through the edger. But when you do something like that, you want to try to act like you're grade sawing as well, because you want nice clear boards for your shiplap. And if you have a knot, you want to try to get that knot in the middle of the board if you can. It's not going to be possible, something this big. Some of the knots will just fall on the ends. That's just the way it is. But when you saw up something this big, look for your best face and protect that face. Make sure when you saw into that face, you're sawing parallel to the bark on that face right there. You don't want to have like this face up here on the corner and a bunch of knots right here. That wouldn't be good. You're not taking full advantage of this nice clear face right here. So, having said all that, look at your log, try to find the best face, and don't forget where it's at. You'll see it when you start sawing into it, but always try to have it lined up on your mill to where you're going to be sawing into this, and it's not going to be on the sides and you lose all this. You can lose this really fast if you're not careful. So like I was saying, we're going to be sawing 1x9s for shiplap. After we run these through the kiln and the edger, the finished dimension is going to be 7 inches. I can barely see you guys over there. This is a massive log. It's a good sized poplar. And these first few cuts may look like I'm taking heavy slab cuts, and I am. Okay, there's no way around it. And the reason is there's some valleys in here between these knots. So here's a knot cluster right here. Here's another knot cluster, and there's a little bit of a valley right there. You got to come all the way down and get under this bark. You know, there's no way around it. You can't use your toe boards on something like that. Sometimes you have to take heavy slab cuts, and that's the way it is. So if you see me taking some heavy cuts, don't beat me up in the comments. I got to get down to the good stuff, and the only way of doing that is getting rid of all this up here where it's swollen out around these limbs right here. There's a lot of material right here we got to get rid of. It's not going to be a lot of waste, but there is going to be some waste with that. On the sawmill, we got a Maine Silvertip Turbo 7. That's a fresh blade. I just put it on there, so we should be cutting pretty good today. And this log came from a tree service. I think I got it in midsummer, but I could be wrong about that. And if I recall correctly, and I may be totally wrong about this, I think there's some rainbow in this log, which means you got some purple colors caused by some minerals in the dirt where the tree grows. That's how you get rainbow poplar. There's some kind of mineral in the ground where the tree grows, and that causes that nice color to happen. But I can't remember, but it seems like I got in some really big poplars that had rainbow in them. I can't tell right now because it's weathered on both ends. But once we start cutting into this, we're going to see it real fast. And I also just noticed I need another pallet. I like to put about 7 layers of lumber on each open face pallet. That's that pallet at the very bottom right there. My good buddy Robert Milton taught me how to make those. Not that it's really hard to build them, but he kind of showed me the reasoning behind it. And we got 7 layers on there, so it looks like before we add to it, I'm going to have to build another pallet. We'll probably do that here at some point today. And also, one more thing here and we'll get started. A big shout out to my friends on Patreon for supporting me here on the channel. I really appreciate it. If you want to join Patreon, I think it's $5 a month. You get to hear about all the stuff going on here at the sawmill way before it gets on the videos. And you also get to see these videos 2 to 3 days before they come out without any ads on them. So a big shout out to you guys, and if you're interested in Patreon, there's a link down below.